Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joined today from our housing, it's a housing specialist, in fact. Lorene Gage is here. Lorene is our housing initiative and program specialist and first time on the show, but great employee and happy to have you here. Welcome. We also have Kristen. She is our specialist that is helping us with our housing study that we're getting going here. So thank you both for being here and taking the time. Housing is a very interesting topic and needed across not only here in Fitchburg, Dane County, but across the U.S. So excited to talk about this. But Lorene, first just starting with you and kind of your role with the city, why are we doing a housing study in the first place?
Great question. One of the biggest things, we had a 2019 housing plan. And typically you refresh that plan every 5 years. So we've kind of hit that 5-year mark. And the reason why is just the market changes. So we really want to keep on top of that. And then also, there's requirements from lenders. So WIDA is one of the things that they require is that you update your housing element. So want to keep up with the times and making sure that we are prepared to help out with housing. And then there's new zoning laws, and we want to keep on top of that. And we know that as you kind of mentioned, Dane County, throughout the state, throughout the United States, there's a housing crisis. And so we want to do our part here in Fitchburg to kind of tackle that.
I remember from the presentation at CEDA, the Community Economic Development, but things have changed dramatically since 2019. Huge. I mean, you're talking total, market change. Kristen, coming into this, I bet you that for all the communities you've worked with and stuff, it's pretty remarkable what has happened since COVID, so to speak, in the housing. And there was a housing need before COVID, and now, wow.
Yes, we see every community in which we consult, we see a huge need for housing. And it is interesting to go back to history and see what caused that. In 2009, there was the recession. We also have seniors living in their homes longer now. 10, 15, 20 years ago, they weren't retiring to a different living setting. They were retiring to a different living setting. They were going to a place to retire, whether it was independent living or assisted living or preparing for skilled care. Now they're staying in their home longer and making adjustments to those homes to allow them to stay longer. So that's not freeing up a portion of the housing stock to a new home, a first-time home buyer, conceivably. So we have many factors. Also, just with the job growth that's been happening in the area. Yeah. That's been huge. So many things are impacting. We don't know exactly what's impacting Fitchburg's situation yet, but we're going to find out.
And that's a good stepping stone here to talk about the housing study. Kristen, what we're going to be doing is quite a few things here, but you are helping us put together our housing plan, our next edition. So walk us through the steps on how we're going to build this plan.
Sure. First, we have to learn about the community, and we do that in two ways. We conduct primary research and secondary research. The secondary research is going to existing data sources like the Census Bureau, Realtor data, things that exist already. Primary research is talking to people, finding out what's happening in your life that's causing a need for housing. And so we are meeting with stakeholders. We'll be doing interviews with groups like realtors, contractors, the school district, bankers, anybody that has a handle on a piece of the housing market. We'll also be conducting a community survey. That survey should be ready in a couple days to go out. We'll be promoting it on the city's website. We'll be promoting it on social media. There will be opportunities to take that survey electronically, or there will be hard copies available at City Hall, the library, and the senior center. We also want to conduct neighborhood meetings in the aldermanic districts with people in their neighborhoods. So we'll be hoping to schedule those for yet this month. And we also have a focus group scheduled with the seniors at the senior center in a couple weeks. And we also have a focus group scheduled with the staff at City Hall. So we hope to gather as much information from people who are experiencing things or not. Maybe they're happy with what's going on. But then also, how do they want to see the community move forward with housing?
It's complicated in
It
a lot
is.
of fronts. First off, the survey too is anonymous, so anybody who takes it, it's gonna be held anonymous as far as that goes. But why, for anybody in the community, why is it so important to take the survey or to get involved in this process? Because I think that's a big question here. I think as you look at 2019's plan, that was the roadmap to kind of how we're doing the housing in here in Fitchburg. So really, how do we sell the idea that we really need you all to participate?
Well, it's interesting because things have changed since 2019. The interest rates have changed. The construction environment has changed. All the things, employment has changed. From COVID, people were thinking they were going to be able to work from home. Now that's transitioning a little bit. So things have changed, and it's important to know what people are feeling and wanting to have happen in Fitchburg. So that's why it's important, just so we get a handle on where are you at right now and where do you hope to be in the future.
And Lorraine, as far as your role here at the city and working through this process, when that plan is done and you move forward, how will you use that plan in future endeavors and what the city is doing? So just people know that next step beyond after we get the wonderful report from Kristen and moving forward.
Yeah, we'll use this as a blueprint so that we know what to do, what next, and what our priority is, especially with housing. There's so much, as you kind of talked about. So I think this kind of gives us some structure of what to focus on and how to build on our growth in housing. So.
And then more importantly, too, this is a working plan, right? So as it comes out, it doesn't just get shelved, right? We are going to use it, and we need to make updates to it as well.
Absolutely. We try to be somewhat conservative in our estimates of how many housing units are needed, but the market will also tell us. So if we say you're going to need 2,000 multifamily units and 1,500 single-family units over the next 5 years, we can't know what's going to come in 4 years or 3 years. So we'll give you this, and then we'll hope the market tells you. So a developer will come and say, the market's still hot, I'll build, or I want to build. So.
Yeah. I think that's important. I think you want to know that it's working, it's constantly being updated, and because of the way things are changing so rapidly, it seems like you finish the minute you finish it, something's going to change or something's going to happen, but nevertheless, it's still that blueprint of where we want to get to, no matter what happens.
Exactly, and our report won't just say you need to build this many houses in the community. It will also say here are some programs that will help you make sure the existing housing stock is in good condition. Here are some programs to help developers if they need it. We'll come up with programs, policy recommendations, and a demand forecast.
All right, so if people are interested in learning more about this process, there's going to be on our website, on our main page, fitchburgwi.gov, you'll be able to click on our housing, assuming it's going to say housing study or something to housing. It's still about to come out, but you can go on there and learn more about this process, take the survey. Anything else people should know about getting involved with the upcoming meetings or this process?
Yes, so just going back to the website, so on that website, it'll kind of give you the process and where we are throughout this process. So we plan to kind of roll this out through the end of the year, and you can just check in and find out where we are. As for participating, we really want everyone to kind of participate either through the surveys or the focus groups so that your voice is heard. I've heard a lot from feedback from residents, and they really want to, be a part of the housing process in either way. And so I think this is the best way to do it, is just to share your voice.
Absolutely, yeah. And we'll remind people as the dates come out for the focus groups, the different times of the survey, all that, we'll be continuing to provide updates. And we're going to get you back on the show and give us an update. Kristen, too, you're welcome to come back on here.
Great.
Anything. Any other information we should know, or I'll remind people one more time where to find it?
Just keep the lookout for when those focus groups are coming out. We do plan to do that throughout this month. So check the website for those updates, and look out for those surveys, definitely in the Senior Center, here at City Hall, or at the library.
Fantastic. And there will be a presentation coming up at Committee of the Whole eventually as well, right? It's down the road.
Yes, it
July
is.
23rd, I believe.
Yes.
There we go. So more to come. Again, you can stay involved in the process. We'll continue to remind you all here on Talking Fitchburg, but also through the city's website. Thank you both so much for being here today, and so excited to see what comes from this. So good work.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.